In this video, we will practice how to write IUPAC name of coordination complexes. So we will study about them in three categories. The first one is cationic complexes, followed up by anionic complexes, and last we'll see about neutral complexes. So dear students, when we are supposed to write the name of the cationic complexes, then we follow this particular rule, this order. Dear students, one thing always you remember that name of a quotation compound always starts with a small letter. We never start with capital letter. So now in cationic complexes, the first ion is cation and which is coordination sphere is cationic. So we remember all the rules which we studied in the previous video. So first in any coordination sphere, the first we write the number and the name of ligands. So here ligand is only amine which is 4 in number. So first we'll start with the number and name of the ligand. So here it will be tetraamine. So I'll write name here. Name starts with tetraamine. When we write the name, we don't leave any gap. We maintain the connectivity. Then followed up by the common name of central metal atom or ion. So here, since it is cationic complex, in the cationic complex, the central metal atom or ion, we use its common name. The common name of Cu is copper itself. So we write here tetraamine copper. And we join the name. We don't leave any gap. Copper. Followed up by its oxidation state. So here students, you are supposed to calculate the oxidation state. So the oxidation state of copper comes 2 here. So oxidation state of copper 2 in Roman number enclosed in bracket. So this becomes the name of the cationic part, which is coordinate sphere of this particular complex. Now followed up by the name of ionization sphere. Now to write the name of the ionization sphere, we leave a gap. Followed up by the name of the ionization sphere, that is sulfate. So dear students, I hope you must have understood the first name. When we write the name of the coordination sphere, we don't leave any gap. We write in continuation. In the next example, it will be understood further very clearly. Now here in this example, we have Cl as well as H2O as ligand. Now we start with the number and name of ligands. So now here the next problem for us is that here ligands are 2 in number. So if you remember the rule taught in the previous video, then definitely you will remember about the alphabetical order rule. So when ligands are many, at that time we report them in alphabetical order. So here H2O starts with A, aqua, its name is aqua. And it is chlorido, starts with C, so definitely aqua comes first. Now you are supposed to represent its number. Since it is 5 in number, it will be penta aqua. So we start the name with the penta aqua. Penta aqua. Now followed up by the name of the next ligand, that is chlorido, penta aqua. We write in continuation penta aqua chlorido. Followed up by the name, common name of the central metal atom or ion. So it is Cr. Its common name is chromium. So penta aqua chlorido chromium. So you must have seen a very important thing, that I did not leave any gap when I am writing the name of the coordination sphere. Now followed up by the name of the chromium should be followed up by its oxidation state. So dear students, on calculating the oxidation state of chromium in this complex comes 3. So 3 is its oxidation state, written in Roman, enclosed in the bracket, followed up by the name of the ionization sphere, leaving a space. Now ionization sphere is made up of chloride. Here we don't mind the number of the negative ion. Alright. So means we don't write about di, tri, tetra of the negative ion as we do in the inorganic compounds as well. So we write simple chloride. Chloride. Since it's not a ligand now, so it will be written as chloride. Now we'll talk about the third example. In the third example, you can see central metal atom or ion is cobalt, which has got 3 ligands. One is chlorido, one is nitrito. Yes, I'll say nitrito because here in NO2 the bonded atom is O. So its name will be nitrito. And here ethylene diamine, EN. Alright. So alphabetical order we are supposed to follow. So ethylene diamine starts with E. Nitrito starts with N. Chlorido starts with C. Alphabetical order according to that, Cl will be reported first. So its name will be chlorido, followed up by ethylene diamine because it starts with E. Since it's 2 in number, so remember we use the prefix di? No. We use the prefix bis. So chlorido, then followed up by bis. In continuation, bis, ethylene, diamine. Alright. Then followed up by the next ligand. Next ligand is nitrito. So diamine followed up by nitrito. Now all the ligands are completed. Then followed up by the name of the central metal ion, that is cobalt. Cobalt with its oxidation number. So if you calculate the oxidation number of cobalt in this complex is 3 only. So in Roman number 3 written in bracket. Now followed up by the name of the ionization sphere. Again ionization sphere is composed of chloride. Leaving a gap, we'll write chloride. So this way we write the name of cationic complexes. Now when it comes to the anionic complexes, the rule changes. Now here we report the ionization sphere first, that is potassium. So we start with the potassium. Sorry, we'll start with the small letter potassium. Now after writing potassium, potassium is ionization sphere, so we leave a gap. After leaving gap, again the coordination sphere we follow the same rules. We'll write the name of number and name of the ligand first. So number is 6 and the name of the ligand is cyanido. So hexa, leaving a gap, hexa cyanido, followed up by the name of the central metal atom or ion. Now since it is anionic complex, so we don't use a common name. Alright. So we use its Latin name, that is ferrum, should end with ate. So it will be termed as hexacyanidoferrate, followed up by its oxidation number in bracket. On calculating, the oxidation number of iron is coming 2. So it becomes the name of this coordination compound. Now for the next one, if we see the next one, potassium is the ionization sphere. So we start with the potassium, leaving a gap. Here we have got 2 ligands, one is chlorido, one is amine. We'll follow alphabetical order, leaving a gap. I'll start with amine. Now after amine, now we are supposed to repeat chlorido, which is 3 in number. So trichlorido, trichlorido, followed up by the name of the central metal ion, that is platinum. We don't write platinum. We are supposed to use ate as suffix. So platinate, chlorido, platinate, ending with its oxidation number in Roman numerals. So if you calculate its oxidation number, the platinum's oxidation number will be 2. So this is the name of this coordination compound. Now we have the third example. Third example, ionization sphere is ammonium. So we start ammonium. Now we'll talk about the coordination sphere, the name of the coordination sphere. So name of the ligands first. It is amine, it is thiocyanato, bonded with N. Alright. So we'll start with its name of amine first. So 2 in number, so diamine, Then thiocyanato, which is bonded with N, so followed up by N. This name of thiocyanato we write in bracket. Alright, so ambidentate ligands, when they are written like that, we write them in bracket, followed up by the name of the central metal ion with the suffix ate, so chromate, followed up by its oxidation number in Roman numerals. So oxidation number is 3, this way. Now, when it comes to the neutral complex, so neutral complexes, the rule is very simple. Since we don't have any ionization spheres, so only we are supposed to write the name of these coordination spheres only. So name of the ligand first, name and number of the ligand first, followed up by common name of the central metal atom or ion, followed up by its oxidation state and Roman numbers. So it is carbonyl with the number 4. So tetracarbonyl, followed up by the common name of Ni, that is nickel, with its oxidation number in Roman numerals. So right now the oxidation number of nickel is 0, so in bracket 0. Similarly, for this the name becomes pentacarbonyl, common name of the Fe, that is iron, pentacarbonyl ion, followed up by its oxidation number in Roman numbers. So again the oxidation number of Fe is coming 0, so we'll write 0. So now, after seeing all these examples, one very very important rule you are supposed to keep in the mind, that whenever we write the name of the coordination sphere, whenever we write the name of any coordination sphere, we are not supposed to leave any gap. See here, look at here, look at here, look at here, no matter how long it becomes. Look at here, look at here, look at here, this way. We don't leave any gap. If you leave any gap, you'll lose definitely marks in the exam.